Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow! 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 Ow!
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Reverend, the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle. Good morning, brothers and sisters. And I mean that in the nicest of ways. Any way you can get it, it's a nice way. I've been getting it for a while, and it's still nice. Even when it's not consensual, if you're getting it, you get. See, you dirty bastard. You don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the lottery cards. I got this little thing here called a lottery card, and I'm trying to win some money here for the church. I'm doing it for the church. So that's what it is. And when you do things for the church, the Lord blesses you. And so I'm pretty sure this is going to be a winner, not like the other four I played and scratched and the Lord didn't bless. But this one really is for the church. The first three were really for me because of my gambling addiction. But this one really is for the church. So this one should win. So good morning, brothers and sisters. Happy August 18th. Yes, indeed. I learned that trick. I learned how to tell the date in the beginning from a good friend of mine of 47 years, the Dr. Matt Napo. He taught me how to read the date at the top of the hour so that people know what date it is. So good morning. Happy August 18th, brothers and sisters. And this includes any new members we may have out there who are joining us for the very first time and possibly the last, depending on how the show goes. We thank you for being out there wherever you are, because wherever you are, that's where you are. And we hope you're enjoying it right now. Yes, indeed. Don't even get me started on now. Now, damn it. It's in my brain. It's in my brain, but I'm not going to do it. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. Welcome. I am the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle, PhD, DDS, ADHD, MCM, LIX. For those of you joining for the first time, I have been called the racy reverend, the pervert pastor, the vile, vulgar vicar of vice. That's my favorite because of all the V's. Watch past episodes if you want to know about my thing with the V's. And it's not because of vaginas. I know that's what you're thinking. Because if I was thinking vagina, I'd have said vagina. There's plenty places for me to put vagina in there. Matter of fact, I may put a vagina in there next time. You don't know. It starts with a V. I'll figure it out. I'm a smart man. The sexy shepherd, the missionary man, the dirty deacon of doggy style. And I know those two things seem contradictory, but they're not. They're transitional. You transition, not contradictory. That's another sermon for another day at another time for another dollar. Another sermon, another dollar. Lord have mercy. The frisky friar, the ass man abbot. Indeed, I am. That's for certain. I've been also called the breast man brother too. But hey, that's another story for another time. And last but not least, certainly not least, I've been called that nasty nigga. I have been called that. Usually not to my face, but I have been called that. And the point is that I come by many names and by many methods, but I do not come easy. That's the Lord have mercy. Ain't that the truth? And speaking of truth, let us begin in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah!
Lord have mercy. Now, it is time for our opening prayers. If you or someone you know is in need of a prayer, by the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle, that's me, please send your requests for a prayer or healing, forgiveness, or anything else, any request that you have for me except to shut the fuck up, because then I wouldn't have a show. So that's the one request I will deny. All right. So if there's any such requests, just email them to me at just like if you're watching, it's scrolling across the bottom. If you're listening, I can just say it and spell it out for you. It's DrRevJellyrole at gmail.com. That's right. Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle at gmail.com. That's right. And please remember to spell roll with an E on the end. Otherwise, that other jelly roll will wind up with your request, and you do not want his hands on your request. You don't want him anywhere near your request. You ever see nasty? He's a nasty man, nasty. Actually, I never met him. He could be a wonderful person. He spoke before Congress. I know I haven't. I'm not jealous. I'm just stating a fact. Facts are facts. You don't have to get jealous over facts. You get jealous over, I don't know. That's another sermon for another time. And time is money. Now for our disclaimer. While all prayers are heard, like that, not all prayers are answered, like that, when we want them to be answered. That's right. Some loopholes and restrictions may apply. Check with your local jurisdictions. That's right. So whether or not a prayer is heard, people don't realize this, depends on where you live as well. Because if you do not have good reception, your prayer may not make it up, or the answer may not make it down. You know what I'm saying? And that's on you. You got to move. You got to move to a place where you get good reception, or vote for a progressive who's going to pay. Who's going to have the government pay for good reception to come into your neighborhood, and then you can get God back into your life. So that's up to you. That's totally up to you. I understand it. I understand. Okay, so let us bow our heads in prayer, unless you are driving your car or your significant other. And if that is the case, just close your eyes and let Jesus do the driving while we pray. Okay, and I showed you last week about the driving. Okay, if you see the people driving like this, that's Jesus behind the wheel. All right, and they got the music playing, and those are the people you get behind. Just follow the Lord because He's driving. Okay, there you go. Follow the Lord. Get all the cars going like this down the line. That'd be a good thing. Blessed day. Yes, it is. Dear Lord, bless Stuart and all of the people like Stuart. For those of you who do not know Stuart, you know someone like Stuart. I'm about to tell you about Stuart because I just met him yesterday for the first time. Okay? These are people who have just given up on what our country can be. That's right. Stuart said to me that he didn't like Trump or Biden, and so he wasn't going to vote. That's right. You heard me. You heard me. You heard the Lord. That's what he said. He said to me on Saturday, okay, which was yesterday. He said yesterday, okay, on Saturday, that he did not like Trump or Biden, so he wasn't going to vote. He said this Saturday. You remember, Lord, you were there. You remember. You know what I wanted to say and what I didn't say. Where the fuck does he get it? What is he? Okay, what's he listening to? Where has he been? How does he not know that Biden's not even in the race anymore? I was so flabbergasted. I almost said something nasty out my mouth. But you know me, I don't talk nasty. I don't like to have saying things like "fuck the fuck is wrong with you." I don't say that. You don't hear me cussing like that. You hear me cussing like this. Fuck, that was nice. See, totally different ways. You don't hear me dropping the F-bomb willy-nilly at people named Stuart usually. But I was so flabbergasted. How in the world could he not know that the Democratic nominee was not Joe Biden? All right. How could he not know that? I was flabbergasted. It's been like on the news. You couldn't go to Gallaudet College, school for the deaf, without hearing them talking about Kamala. All right, you couldn't do it. It just doesn't sound like Kamala like that. Let's see, K-A. I don't even remember my sign language anymore. I don't. I used to sign, but I haven't used it anymore. I mean, what was the point? They weren't listening to me anyway. Like talking to a brick wall. What I'm saying is, please do not give up. Don't give up, okay? This is our country, all right? And if we do not get involved in our present, we lose control of our future. That's right. Let me say that again. If we do not get involved in our present, we lose control of our future. Can I get someone to listen? Lord have mercy. See, here's the thing, and this is what I did tell him. Okay, I didn't tell him how to vote. All right, I told him that people need to get off their ass and get involved. That's what I told him. People need to get off their ass and get involved. I didn't tell him to get off his ass because I thought that was a little bit too direct and he might shut down like this. Okay, people do that. If you get too direct, to go, and you can hear their ass cheeks go just like that. So you have to make it so like they don't know that you're talking about them, but you're talking about them. Okay, it's almost like saying "bless your heart," almost like that. But it's not. It's different. So I said, people need to get off their ass and get involved and get informed. And I put an emphasis on informed because anybody who doesn't know that Biden's not in the race by now is not informed. All right. And we really don't want uninformed people voting because that gets to be fucked up and disastrous. Okay. No matter how you want to vote, if you can intellectually, and this is just for me, not for you, not for me, I will have a debate with any issue, with any person, anytime, as long as there's some kind of foundation or fact in the argument. But as soon as you go off into la land, you all are alone, okay? Because I'm not going there. That's right. It's crazy. So get off your ass and get involved. Get informed, okay? Get the facts, okay? And that's what we're going to be talking about later today is the facts, because facts matter. Facts are important. We have to, facts are just what is, okay? Them's the facts. That's what a facts is. And a lot of you who are a little bit older and with a hearing problem are going, he said, that's a different fact. That's F-A-X, okay? And some of you don't even remember that. Don't even know what that sound is, all right? But back in the day when we were trying to send transmissions to each other, not emissions. That's how the STDs get started. But transmissions, you took a piece of paper like this. Damn, how could I not have paper? Doesn't matter. You took a piece of paper, you laid it flat down on this machine, and you typed in a phone number, okay? And that phone number connected you to another machine just like it on the other end. Another fax machine, and you dial the number, you push it, and it goes just like that. Then it comes out the other side of a facsimile. That's where the word fax comes from. You don't actually send the paper to the other side. A facsimile of what you sent is what shows up on the other side, okay? A facsimile is short. Fax is short for facsimile. For those of you who did not know that, all right? And a facsimile is what came out the other side. All right, now, here's the deal. You had to have somebody over there who took care of the paper, all right? Because there were two types of fax machines as far as the paper goes, all right? There was the regular fax machines, which took ink toner and like paper, like real paper, like paper made out of paper, and usually 20-pound bond. Now, for those of you like, what 20 pounds? See, a lot of y'all been away from paper too damn long, all right? Paper comes in thicknesses, and the three most common sizes was 20-pound, 24-pound, and 60-pound. 60-pound was your thin cardboard, all right? You didn't use that for fax. That was expensive shit. You used that for like presentations, all right? But 20-pound was the thinnest paper that you could use in a fax machine. Otherwise, anything thinner than a 20-pound just going to get eaten up by the rollers. And it'd be all punched up, all right? So a 24-pound is like, that's what we use most of the time today is 24-pound paper, you know? But 20 is a little bit thinner, a little bit more economical. It's a little bit cheaper, but it's not as sturdy, all right? So you got that and your ink toner, okay? Those, if you had that kind of fax machine and you had an office, you had somebody who got coffee and made sure that that shit was in there, usually a secretary or a maintenance person, or could have been anybody, because it's a fax machine. Everybody uses it. It's like Kool-Aid. Everybody drinks it, but only one person makes it, the last one, to drink the Kool-Aid. And so what they do is when they pour the Kool-Aid, they leave a little bit of the Kool-Aid left so they can say, I didn't drink it all, and they don't have to make more. And that's what people do with the fax machines. They get down to like the last page, see there's only one page left, and they don't put new paper in because they didn't use the last sheet. So the facsimile came out on the other side, and you see this. And if it's paper with toner, that one you could almost file away and keep forever. But the other solution to the paper problem was thermal paper, okay? And it came on a roll, you know, like maybe like this, all right? And you had to keep it in the dark because when it got exposed to the light, whatever was written on there just disappeared, all right? So when that came through, you had this little printer, which used electricity, static electricity, and it printed a facsimile of what was over here, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Facts. But those aren't the facts I'm talking about today. I'm talking about FACTS facts. Those facts are important, all right? There are just some plain simple things that are true, all right? And I know I shouldn't get into this right now because I'm in the middle of the prayers and I went from prayer to sermon without a transition or without a bump. I haven't even done the bump yet, and I already got into this shit. So let me back up a little bit. Otherwise, I won't be able to do the bump, all right? So for fact's sake, get involved, pay attention, get informed, and get off your ass and act like your present matters because your future counts on it, all right? Lord have mercy. I am so sorry. That was a little bit long-winded because I still have another prayer. Dear Lord, please bless the family of my friend Perry Kurtz. Technically, he wasn't my friend. I never met him. He was GD's friend, and GD never met him. They talked, Zoom talked for hours. You know, they did like FaceTime for hours. Okay, Perry Kurtz was killed on Thursday by a hit-and-run driver. Okay, now Perry Kurtz was a comedian. He'd been doing comedy for 40 years, more than 40 years, a long time. Did television shows, late night television, all over the place. Okay, he used to hang out with the likes of people like Robin Williams and so forth. I mean, a whole slew of comedians, the big, well-known comedians he rubbed elbows with and performed with and opened for and stuff like that. And he's open for all kinds of bands as well. He's got some stories. When you've been doing something that long, you got some stories, okay? And I don't usually promote other people's shows on this show, but I'm going to do it now, okay? There's a show called Done Way Past Funny. It's on YouTube's and Knob TV, and Spark TV. At any rate, Perry Kurtz is one of the interviews on there. It's a 3-part interview, and he's got tons of stories. And when you see the videos, the interviews, there's pictures and interviews, and you get to hear Perry talk about comedy and his life in his own words, all right? So as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you this story, but not the full story. That's in the interview. But according to Perry, he was the one who inspired Robin Williams to wear suspenders when Robin Williams performed. This is according to Perry. And apparently he has a witness who I think is dead now. But then again, almost all of them are dead, right? So, I mean, even Perry's dead. That's why I'm talking about him. You never heard me talk about him before. And he died at the age of old as fuck. He was old as fuck. He's been doing comedy for like 40 years. But a lot of his material is still out there. And he loved singing. A terrible voice. The man had a terrible, god-awful voice, but he loved to sing. And he loved to do song parodies at karaoke. Okay, and he would post them on the tic-tac-toe. You know, the one social media site that pisses off Congress. TikTok, that's it. He was constantly posting videos of him performing karaoke on TikTok and other comedy stuff, but he really loved singing. He loved to do music. He had this thing called a keytar. Okay, now a keytar, Keytar, is like a keyboard, but you hold it like a guitar. So it's a keytar is what it is. And he used to love to play that too. Like I said, he says he's the one that got Robin Williams to wear suspenders. Actually, he didn't get him to wear suspenders. Robin Williams actually just saw Perry wearing suspenders and said, I like that. I'm stealing it. Okay, he didn't say he was stealing it. He just stole it because that's what Robin did. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but at any rate, can I get a better fitting pants? A pair of pants. And finally, Lord, please bless the entire behind-the-scenes staff at Mind Dog TV. They are truly doing your work, and they're earning their pay today because I am way, way behind schedule with the sermon. So what they're going to have to do is like speed me up a little bit. They're going to kick me in the ass so I'll talk a little bit faster or use less words. Well, fuck that. That ain't happening. I ain't using less words. I'm using every word I can think of. You think a gunshot's gonna, unless you shoot me in the mouth, it ain't gonna stop me because the brain and the mouth aren't connected in case you hadn't figured that out yet. You can shoot me in the head and the mouth is gonna keep on going. It's like cutting the head off a chicken. The head gone and the legs just going like this. That's right. Shoot me in the head and the mouth is still gonna run. It ain't gonna work. You gotta shoot me in the mouth. That's the only way. And then you just create two holes. And now I'm talking twice as much. So fuck that. Put that gun away. It ain't gonna help. It ain't gonna help. And it can't hurt. So you thank the Mind Dog TV staff for being behind the scenes, doing everything that they do, Lord, to get your word spread throughout the wordosphere. They could be anywhere today, but they sucked it up and came here where it just sucks. All right. And they came here today, and that ought to count for something, Lord. They should be blessed with good blessings and lots of blessings and the things that they need to be blessed, you know, and like bless them. As a matter of fact, you know what you can do to Lord? Ask them, because you know the staff is now full blown papusa talk, to tick a tick, papusi tack. They're Native American now, so we're another diversity hire. We used to have white people in the background. Now we have Native Americans or Indians working the scenes behind us now, and we are so proud to have for our new diversity hire in the studio working behind the scenes. We are so fucking proud of them. Congratulations. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the staff. And we look forward to our first powwow or team meeting. Sorry. We're going to start calling the team meetings powwows just because of that. That's it. No more team meetings. We're having powwows. Thank God.
You did it.
That's right. Don't know what, but we did it. That's right. And minddogtv.com. That is the place to go to get all of your Church of Last Resort gear and all of your other needs that you need met. You can get them met at minddogtv.com. All right. Just go there and find the merch button. And when you find the merch button, you hit the merch button. And when you hit the merch button, you'll see the merch. All right. We are mercenaries. And that's what we do. We sell things for money. We're mercenaries. So You join minddogtv.com. You don't actually have to join. Just go there and join the mercenary team. All right. Be a mercenary for Mind Dog TV. That's a new slogan. That and enjoy the suffering. And give us your fucking money. I think that's another slogan we have. Give us your fucking money. You're wasting it anyway. You might as well give it to us. All right. Now, so let's have a bump for the Lord. Yes, indeed. That's good. Is that mango in there? Bless you. There's mango in here. Usually my bump is like straight up vodka, Stoli, but this time the Stoli has a little mango green tea in it. That's good shit. Oh man, that's gonna be my favorite drink. I usually drink a mimosa right after this show. I'm gonna go have breakfast and a mimosa. I'm gonna have a Stoli and green tea mango green tea. Brought to you by the people at Mind Dog TV. Lord have mercy. That's some good shit. So, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah!
Yes, indeed. Yes. Before I get to the sermon, yes, I did say mercenary. Yes. And welcome back, Brother Ian. I have not seen you in so long. It's been a long time that you've been here, and welcome back. We was concerned about you, brother. We thought you left us for another church. I mean, not that we were jealous, but we'd miss you because we here in the Church of Last Resort value all of our peoples, because to us you matter. All right. You've seen the signs that says all lives matter. You've seen the signs that says Black lives matter. You've seen the signs that says blue lives matter. But what about the sign that says you matter? That's right. You matter. Our audience matters. You matter more than most of all. You're more important to me than all those other matters. That's all that matters, is that you matter to me and us. We matter to each other. That's what matters. So thank you. And no, that wasn't Mork, but there we go. Before we go to the sermon, we have a word, a video to promote, to tell people how they can be on Coffee with the Dog and be an audience member. So if our new Native American assistant will just play that commercial, we'll be right back on the other side of that.
Comedians, musicians, songwriters, filmmakers, authors, and podcasters. Coffee with the Dog is booking for the
Summer and fall.
now. Get free publicity and hone your interview skill in a fun and safe setting. Coffee with the Dog is a live radio, live stream podcast based in New York that airs daily Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock in syndication on iHeartRadio, as well as video streaming platforms like YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and many other platforms. Guests usually come on remotely via StreamYard, like Zoom but easier, although occasionally we do in-studio interviews. The morning show focuses mainly on comedians and musicians, and they have interviewed many top names and classic celebrities such as Robert Klein, Mike Binder, Eddie Brill, Doug Stanhope, Steve Byrne, Paul Provenza, Jeff Altman, and many, many others. For booking, go to minddogtv.com/booking.
I know we play that every week, and yes, I do, because we want the interesting people to show up at Mind Dog TV. Now, I am a big supporter of Mind Dog TV. They are the very reason I get out of bed on Sunday mornings. That's it. I could stay in bed and do this. I could do this from my bed, but because the Mind Dog TV says you have to wear clothes to do this show, I got out of bed, got dressed, and I'm here. But that's Mind Dog TV, so you can thank them. Otherwise, you'd be looking at this. Oh, never mind. Can't show you that. The only problem I have with that, and the only thing I would change about that commercial, I didn't write the script. I just hired the lady who read the script. He says safe environment. I don't know if it's a safe environment for people to learn to be interviewed. Maybe in the beginning, when he started off, and it was, him being reasonable, the way Matt is with people, he gentle, lovingly interviewing people. But now he surrounds himself with these three hacks, 2 3/5 hacks, and they are not always gentle and polite to the guests. And so I don't
his
know.
His hands were soft and supple.
Yes, his hands were soft and supple, and also they were irrevocably stuck in someone's behind. But at least they were soft and supple. Now, so it's not always safe. And I'm saying that for those of you, if you're sensitive, you may not want to be on Mind Dog TV, Coffee at the Dog, for your first interview. You may want to start off with something easy, like, and I'm saying a low budget production, like Between Two Ferns, or maybe, let's say, Joe Grogan, one of those low budget productions, Breakfast Club, something easy before you come up to the big leagues and Coffee with the Dog. All right. Yeah. Even try PBM TV, that something soft and easy, a softball, a slow pitch. You don't want to come to the major leagues right off the bat if you're sensitive, because even though that advertisement says safe environment, safe is a relative term. And if nothing else, we know about relative terms. You don't. Let me write that down. I'm going to do a sermon on relative terms. Let me see. Relative. I'll remind me later. I'll do a sermon on relative terms. All right. Now, today's sermon is about, can you believe your lying eyes? All right. Can you believe your lying eyes? All right. Now, this story, I'm going to tell you about this story today. I'm going to take you back to 1977. I was 17 years old. I had just graduated from high school, and I was helping a friend move to California after graduation. We were driving across the country like this, literally just like this, up and down. We started in Maryland, and we drove up to PA and New York, and then Canada, and came across Canada, and came down through Detroit, and went on down to hit the Grand Canyon. And while we're at the Grand Canyon in Arizona, okay, in Arizona was where I was in a shop, and I came across a jackalope. That's right. Now, for those of you who've never seen a jackalope, we have a picture here. We have a picture there. That is a jackalope. All right. It looks like a rabbit with velvet antlers. Okay. Velvet antlers, just like the ones that little deer bucks have when they're first starting out with their antlers. When bucks first start out with their antlers, they got the little velvet antlers, little velvet. And so jackalopes are like what happens when a buck gets a little bit freaky and he goes after a hare, okay? And the buck gets in the hare and they have a jackalope. Or is it a buck and a jackrabbit? I think it must, otherwise they'd call it a buckalope or a buck a hare. Yeah. And so they don't call it a hare buck or a hairy buck. They call it a jackalope. So I may be wrong. It may be an antelope mixed with a jackrabbit. But anyway, yes. And that's sort of the sound they make. Almost like a turtle humping a croc. Similar sounds. Except for when a turtle does it, it's slower and it's higher pitch. It's like, hee, hee. A little bit different. I am an entomologist. I do study entomology. I think that's what sex with animals is called. No, husbandry. That's it. So that is what a jackalope is. All right. Now, I'm not sure what else you need to know about jackalopes. I think we may have, if we have, I'm gonna do this. If we have the song Jackalope, I'm gonna pause for like 3 seconds while they play it. If it comes up in 3 seconds, I will stop talking. If it doesn't come up in 3 seconds, I will resume the sermon. So let's wait 3 seconds.
There's no such thing as a jackalope. So why you acting like such a dope? You think you're better than everyone else? That's why you're in the theater all by yourself. Nobody comes to see you, not even your mom. And you think you're so smart, but brother, you're so dumb. Jackalope, jackalope, you must be smoking some pretty good dope. Cause no one's as good as you think you are. You ain't a virtuoso when you know all-star. You got a lot to learn. And let me tell you, son, you think you're so smart, but brother, you're so dumb. There you sit looking down at it all. You hold yourself so high that you're bound to fall. And all you ever cared about was looking out for number one. And you think you're so smart, but brother, you're so dumb. Jackalope, jackalope, you're just a lost soul and you got no hope. You're walking through your life with an empty heart. You're angry at the world cause you're not on the charts. And the songs you sing don't speak to anyone. And you think you're so smart, but brother, you're so dumb. Yeah, you think you're so smart, but jackalope, you're so dumb.
That was Jackalope by Brother Porter. Okay, that song was number 2 on the charts. Matter of fact, he's on the Snatchy Giggles record label. Number 2 in the charts in Japan, because that's where we know jackalopes are actually imported from. Now, I beg to differ with the premise that jackalopes aren't real, because I saw one. You saw the picture. See, that's what we're talking about today. Can you believe your lying eyes? When I was 17, I went to Arizona and I saw that. I saw they had not just pictures, but they had jackalopes that were stuffed and sitting on tables, and you couldn't buy them. They would not sell you the jackalopes. They were sitting there, but you could touch them. You could feel them, and they were real fur, real antlers, okay? They were real as real can be. I saw them, I touched them, and for 30 seconds, I said, how can that be? Because for a brief second, because I saw them, even though I was 17 years old, and because I touched them, part of me wanted them to be real. Yes, indeed. I'm going to tell you now, I wanted them to be so real, so bad, that for about 30 seconds, I convinced myself it was possible. Now, but because by age 17, I had graduated from high school and I had a education, some of which included science. Some of that science included biology. Some of that biology included evolution and other things, chemistry, physics, earth science, and there was another science, sex. That's right, sex. We studied all of that in high school. But because of that, I could deduce that the jackalope was not real, even though the people in the store in Arizona were telling everybody they were real, especially kids and children, 5 years old, 6 years old. They were telling them these are real, and the parents bought into it and told the children they were real. All right, at least I was 17 when I saw my first jackalope, and I had a foundation of science and facts underneath of me. So even when I wanted to believe, and I wanted to. Today, I'm like 25 years old. Okay, a little older than 25. All right, fuck it. I was born in 1959. You can do the math. If you can't, I'm 44. Okay, if you can't do the math, fuck off. That's all I'm saying. But today, the point is, even today, I would love it if jackalopes were real. But they're not, all right? But there was no way you going to convince a 5-year-old child who sees and touches a jackalope that they're not real, especially when their authority figures, their parents, are telling them that they're real. Okay? Now, unless they have a friend like Mr. Porter, Brother Porter, who was going to lay down the facts for them, unless they knew that song, they're never going to get it out of their heads, all right? Never. That song is like burned into your brain, re-educating you, all right? And this is what I'm talking about. When your lying eyes, when your own eyes can lie to you, or when they're not lying and someone tells you that your eyes are lying to you, how do you know the difference? All right. I'm not going to mention anybody by name. All right. Because I'm not the type of guy who was going to shame somebody because they fuck up and lie. That's not me. So I'm not going to mention people by name, but I think you'll be able to figure out who I'm talking about. All right. The Republican nominee for president, Donald Trump. Do I have to tell you who the fuck? I didn't want to say his name, but how could? Damn. Now you know what I'm talking about. Okay, thank you. Lord have mercy. Okay. He went on and said that the Democratic nominee for president, Kamala Harris, okay, for Stewart and people like Stewart who don't know. Okay, Kamala Harris, not Kamala, not Kamalamala, not Caramel, Kamala. I'm going to respect her and call her by her name. All right? Lord have mercy. That her crowd sizes were fake, AI induced, okay? Even though there are tens of thousands of people, well, not tens of thousands, but over 10,000 people who were there and saw it, all right? So, yes, there was actual facts that says, see here, these people are real. And we all watched it live on television. But he says it was AI generated, all right? Now, there are going to be people who are going to believe that. They're going to say, see, there was no reflection in the airplane. So what? Let me show you something about science. People don't know this. People do not know this. A lot of people do not know this. Airplanes are round. Okay, they're cylindrical. All right. This is a shiny object. It reflects. Okay. If I stood like this, far enough back, my reflection is not going to show up. It's going to reflect what's beneath it. And in this case, it's going to reflect floor. All right. And if you took a picture of this, you're going to see floor and ceiling, and you might not see me if the picture's from the right angle. You know why? Because it's fucking round and science. All right.
To turn black, and now she wants to be known as Black.
Yes. So that's what I'm talking about. When people want to convince you that what you see is not real. And on the other hand, they're trying to convince you that what you didn't see is real. Now, how do you know the difference? All right. Back in the day, when I was studying with the Franciscan friars, and that for those of you who are jumping to conclusions and said, wait a minute, I knew that black guy was cooking chicken. That is not what a Franciscan friar is, all right? A Franciscan friar is not a chicken. It's a sect of the Catholic Church, a sect of the Catholic Church. Like they have like Jesuits and the Carmelites and stuff like that. Well, the friars are a different sect, okay? And the Franciscan friars, what they did is they are basically disciples of or followers of the teachings of Saint Francis of Assisi. Yes, not Saint Francis was a sissy. Saint Francis of Assisi the Franciscan friars were followers of that. But St. Francis followed Jesus, and Jesus followed the yellow brick road, and so forth. So there's a direct line you can follow, okay? But the Franciscan friars were a sect of Catholicism. And they had 3 vows they had to take when I was there. A vow of poverty, which I didn't have a problem with because I grew up a poor black child. Technically, I wasn't a poor black child. We were a middle-class black child until my father died when I was a child, and then I became a poor black child. So I started off being upper middle-class black child, and then I became a poor black child. And then I learned to scrimp and save. And so another point is I could have been a Franciscan friar, at least as far as poverty goes. And they said obedience is the second one. Now, I grew up with a single mom, and I did learn how to obey. It took a few slaps in the mouth, but the friars have nuns, and they're not afraid to slap you in the mouth. So obedience I could have done also. And I might even liked it with those nuns, those rulers. Who knows? I still have a fetish about penguins today. I don't know what it is, but I like it. But I could have taken that vow. But it was the vow of chastity that I had problems with. I could not do the vow of chastity. No. I had already tasted the nectars of the young ladies, and there was no way I could, or as we call it, the nectar of the knickers. Okay, that's what he said it is, because the knickers, and inside the knickers was the nectar. So the nectar of the knickers, and I'd already tasted that, and there was no way I was giving that up. And it turns out that if you're a Catholic priest, you don't have to give it up. I did not know that back then, but I'm glad I did not join the Franciscan friars. I'm glad, because now I'm a regular reverend, and I have a wife, and I have kids, and I have a dog and a cat. And okay, I didn't take a vow of poverty, but I did take a vow of obedience. And you know that because every time my wife walks by, a little bit, just every time a Mona walks by, it's like, so 2 out of 3. So, but the point is, back when I was studying with the Franciscan friars, there was a lecture that was given. And it was about this guy who used to work for the U.S. Treasury. And he was teaching agents how to spot counterfeit money. Okay? And so they spent the first month just looking at real money. That's it. They got real money out. They got the $1 bills out and looked. Now, they weren't $2 bills back then, but had there been $2 bills back then, they would have looked. And then they had the $5 bills and looked, and 10, and all the way up until they got to like the $1,000 bills and examining them. There was a $10,000 bill, and probably a lot of you probably don't even realize there was a $10,000 bill. And apparently that's not the one you want to show to people in a class of agents, because that was the one that disappeared. So they only saw that once. But there is a $10,000 bill. Yes, indeed. You can Google it. Go ahead. I saw one. Actually, I saw a wall of them. $1 million worth of $10,000 bills in Vegas. It was behind a thick ass plate of glass. Not like the jackalope. You could touch the jackalope, but the $10,000 bills, they weren't going to let you touch. All right. But this guy, he had everybody just focusing on real money. And at the end of the month, one of the agents says, "Sir, all we've done is look at real money. How are we going to learn to spot a counterfeit?" And the answer was, "You're going to be so well versed at what is real that the fake is going to be obvious." That's right. You're going to be so well versed in what is real that a fake is going to be obvious. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand about this AI shit and all this "can you believe your lying eye" shit. You need to be informed and understand reality. so that you won't be fooled by the nonsense that you're going to be bombarded with between now and November, or now and the rest of your fucking life. Because you know something? The bullshit is not going to stop on November 5th, right? It's not going to stop after the election. It's not going to stop after January 20th and the inauguration. It's not going to stop after Valentine's Day and you forgot to buy a gift. And so you got to start running around finding a gift and paying too fucking much money for a gift that you could have gotten 3 days earlier for 1/3 the price. Bullshit is not going to stop just because these things have passed. The bullshit is going to continue to end your life. And so what I'm telling you today is ground yourself in facts so that when the fake comes along, you'll be able to figure that shit out on your own. You won't be like a kid with a jackalope clinging to the hopes that they will one day find a jackalope until they hear that song by Brother Porter. Number two on the flat earth charts. Number 2 on the flat earth charts. And this is real. You know something? Good God. I wish I'd have thought of that. Brother Ian, my God, where have you been? Why are you not my script writer? Realize. Good God. Damn it. You could write for Jesse Jackson with that. Oh, I like that. Realize. Brother Ian, if you don't mind, I'm going to share this with the fucking world, okay? Unless you tell me you stole it from somebody. Did you steal it from somebody? Just nod. Did you steal it from somebody? You can just, you did. Damn it. Oh, it's okay. I'm giving you credit anyway. All right? Here, see, this is what Brother Ian, where is it? Here. Let's do this right here. Here we go. I'm looking in the wrong direction. Okay.
Please stand by. We are having.
Here we go. So, Brother Ian wrote, realize. I like this. Realize. Good God. That is Brother Ian with the wisdom, dropping the pearls of wisdom. Good God. He just dropped them. He just dropped it like it was hot, like it was burning up inside of him, and he just burned it up, and he just had to lay out the ashes. Good God Almighty. Thank you, Brother Ian. I could not have said that better myself. And so, like I was saying, I thought of this saying myself, all by myself. I thought of that. And it's a t-shirt. It's going to be a t-shirt. I can't, oh my God. Brother Ian. That is so, thank you so much. God. Yeah, I thought yes. I asked, I said, Brother Ian, did you steal it? And he goes, but he said I could have it. That's no sweat off of his. He goes, yeah, I stole it. You can have it. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. But that's the point. That's what I'm trying to say to people. All right. You're going to hear all kinds of crazy shit. Like she used to be Indian and then she turned black. All right. That's not how that happens. Okay. That's not how that happens. You have to have a ceremony with other Indians who get you high. So you could be Italian and then turn Indian. All right. But there's a ritual. You just don't turn. There's a ritual. All right. There's a ritual for these things. You can't just be Indian and turn black. It's Indian ritual. Poof, you're black. All right. That's what I'm talking about. You forgot it. He's leaving out steps. You got to go ritual and poof. All right. Same thing with being like he was straight, ritual, poof, he's gay. All right. Same thing. That's how that works. There's a ritual and poofing. All right. You just don't turn. And those are the lies they're trying to get you to believe, that she just started off as Indian and she turned black. No. Ritual and poof. Now, you're going to hear interviews. I'm going to go back to my opening prayer and Brother Stewart. All right. I'm going to go back. I'm going to tie this all in with a ribbon or a bow. Maybe a knot, maybe a slip knot. You know, my boy went to see Slipknot the other night. He said it was a great concert. He and his wife went. They saw Slipknot. He said it was great. He said it was not as good as Rob Zombie, but he was 12 years old and saw Rob Zombie. So he may have just been like overwhelmed with the Rob Zombie thing, because now he's like in his 30s. And he's seen some shit. So seeing Slipknot in your 30s is not the same as seeing Rob Zombie at 12. Not the same thing. No. So, but he says Slipknot was good, not as good as Rob Zombie. But I'm only mentioning Slipknot because I'm talking about knots. And I forgot which kind of knots I was talking about. Not that knot, though. Here's the deal. People, if you want to be able to navigate your way through the fake shit, you got to learn the real shit, okay? You got to learn science. You got to be able to learn the reason. You got to be able to think for your fucking self, all right? Because there's people out there that are just so lazy, they don't want to think, and so they want to believe what anybody tells them. They don't want to think. They don't want to learn the basics of truth. So they're going to grow up looking for jackalopes out in the fucking heat of Arizona. They're going to grow up and they're going to be looking for trickle-down economics while they're starving, because there ain't no such thing as trickle-down economics. You know what's trickling down? It's piss, and it's trickling down, and they're telling you it's raining. All right? Those are things that we. There we go. There we go. Now, for those of you who understand, oh, wait a minute, if I do this, there, you don't see the top of the umbrella. This is my umbrella, and the top is up there. You don't see it. All right, there we go. See? With your own eyes, you see my umbrella stand. Let me put that down and put it away. My God. So, we're coming up on the final moments of this hour, and I thank you for joining us for this hour. My God, this has been such it's so enlightening for me, and I hope for you. But I pray, brothers and sisters, that you get off your asses and you study a little bit, you learn a little bit, challenge yourself to learn, challenge yourself to think. I know it's hard. You've had a hard day at work and you've been thinking all day at work, and you want to get home, you just want to shut your brain down and say, I'm tired of thinking. I'm tired of being responsible. Will somebody else please be responsible for my thoughts? Will somebody else please be responsible for my ideas? Will somebody else please be responsible for my actions? Because I'm tired of being responsible. You know something? You can give that up when you're dead. Give it up when you're dead. But while you're breathing, while you're alive, you're responsible. So fucking think for yourself, all right? Don't even take everything I say for granted. Google me, but wear gloves, latex. I'm allergic to rubber. I'll break out with a rash if you Google me with rubber gloves. So use latex when you Google me. And challenge me. I don't mind being challenged. I just speak facts. I don't make shit up and pull it out of my ass. That hurts. I make shit up and put it in my tablet. So I thank you, brothers and sisters. I thank you for being here. Closing prayer. I want to thank everybody who's subscribed to our fledgling YouTube channel, Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle, and have joined the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle's fan page on Facebook. This means a lot to me. It does not validate my being, but it does elevate my standing, and it allows me, as a matter of fact, I need more people on Facebook so that I can stream live on Facebook on my own page, because I need 100 people to do that. And apparently I'm short by about 100 people. That's okay. Now, but on behalf of the Church of Last Resort and the entire Royal family, my wife, Amona, my kids, Cinnamon and Jelly Jr., our cat, Tootsie, our dog, Stop Dropping, I wish you safe travels, and I hope you will join us next week at 9 a.m. Eastern, Orthodox time on Mountain Dog TV, and everywhere that our word is heard. And I've been doing my best to actually put audio versions on Spotify. So I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm just doing it because I don't have enough things to do in my life. I'm doing it. So fuck yeah. That's right. Fuck yeah. So in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! Yes, you can never have too many of those. Thank you. God bless you. I'll see you next week. Yes, I will.